This app is called Cookie Doodle by Shoo the Goose. So this is a great app to make and decorate cookies. It works on a few different skills, works on building motor skills. So you're going to see some different tap and holds, touch and drag, swipe, circle, some bilateral skills, motor persistence. And we're actually going to look at some letter formations, some shapes, some sequencing skills. You can actually work on some spelling. So let me show you all of that. This is what you'll see if you go into the App Store. So let's go ahead and open Cookie Doodle. All right, so here is Cookie Doodle. So if I tap, it's going to take me in. So you'll note there's a couple different things that we could do. The first is we could just do an instant cookie. Okay, so there's some basic options here. Instant would let us pick out which cookie dough we want. So I'm going to pick pumpkin because I'm a huge pumpkin fan. So this lets us go into here. I can hold and drag around, and notice I can spread out the cookie dough. All right, so I'm rolling out the cookie dough. When that's done, it gives me options here at the top: alphabet, animals, holiday, other. Okay, I'm going to pick the alphabet. I want to pick the letter Q. All right, so it puts the cookie cutter, quote unquote, on top, and it tells me down here, press the cookie cutter. I press, there's my cookie. Now it tells me at the bottom, touch oven to bake cookie. So I touch the bake up here. It's cookie baking and it's done. Okay, so here's my cookie. Now I get to decorate my cookie. All right, so notice up here we have frosting, piping, sprinkles, and candy. So if I click on frosting, I have all these different frosting options. Let's say I want to pick raspberry because I love raspberry. I have to click the check mark, and then I can put frosting wherever I want. So you'll notice I can just go ahead and kind of color here. But notice it doesn't let you lose the shape of the cookie. So you might color outside the lines, but it doesn't. It holds the shape formation. Okay. So now my cookie's frosted. Maybe I want to add some piping. So let's say I want to do some key lime. So now my piping looks like this. All right. I can add some sprinkles. I pick which sprinkles I want, and I put my sprinkles on. I can also add some candies. You obviously don't have to do all of these, but these are just all different options that you have. Let's say I'm like, whoa, I really love candies. Okay. When you're done with your cookie, you don't have to do anything. It's just going to automatically go into the cookie jar. Okay. So you can see some previous cookies that I've made here. They go into my cookie jar. If I go back here, let's say I don't like something that I did, I can always undo it and it takes away the candies. So I'm like, oh, that was too many candies. I can do that. A few other things I can do with my cute little cookie here. They're actually puzzles. So you can do a puzzle with these cookies. Okay. So this one is actually the most difficult level. There's different hardness, difficulty levels. So I'll show you those in a few minutes, but I could do a puzzle. I can eat my cookie. So all I have to do here is just touch it. And notice if I try to do this, it's not really eating it, but if I tap it, that's where it's really eating it. Okay. All right, but let's say I'm like, no, I didn't want to eat my cookie. I can always click undo and it takes me right back there. Okay. So that's the basics of making a cookie instant style. Okay. If I want to do a new cookie, I just go up to the menu. I also, let's say I really love this. I could also save this. Okay. So it's added to my photo album. So if I go out to my photo album, it's going to be there. Notice I said that there were some options you could do. You can stay in the screen. You can change the different pieces here, the different elements. I did mention the puzzle difficulty that's here. Notice I'm on hard. You can also set it to easy. And let's see what that does. If I go to the puzzle now, you can see I have many less pieces. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back. I'm also going to show you, let's start a new cookie, but this time I actually want to do a recipe. So let's do ginger snap this time. So this actually pulls up an entire recipe for us to make cookies. Okay. So all of your ingredients are out here. So you don't have to go in order. I could start with, let's say, the egg. So I'm going to drag the ingredient into the bowl. For each ingredient, it's going to give me different directions. So this one says tap on egg to crack. So that cracks my egg into my bowl. Notice that my egg is now checked off of my recipe. So this would be really great if you have a child who does like to work on cooking skills or likes to follow a checklist. This would be a really good feature for them. So let's say I want to do the flour. I'm going to bring that in here. I have to actually here rotate the handle to sift the flour in. All right, my flour's done. My baking soda, notice you have to drag them in. This I actually have to twist to pour. So I'm going to do that and twist and shake. All right, now we're back to the recipe. Here we are. So we're going to go through twist to pour, twist to pour, twist to pour. Notice if you just click on it like I am, it's not going to do anything. You actually have to drag into. The butter is a little bit different. This one you use the knife to cut the butter. So I'm going to use my knife. All right, my butter's done. My sugar. That just adds to the bowl. And then salt. I can shake or I can tap to add the salt. All right, good work. We put all the ingredients in. Now I have to stir them. So I'm going to hold and drag. Okay, this works on me kind of keeping my finger on the screen and moving it around. I have to mix it all together. All right, now you see we're back where we were with the instant. So now I'm going to roll it out. It's the exact same features after that. So now I have my cookie cutters at the top. I also have a knife feature, which I didn't mention before. So I could actually just cut my cookie however I want. And there's my cookie. Okay. And then I bake it. Everything's the same. Okay. One other feature I want to show you with a new cookie, you can also use a photo. Okay. So let's say I go into here and I actually want to use a photo. So this is a picture that I have in there. So I roll it out. I select my cookie cutter. Let's say I want to do an A. Okay. Notice I can drag and move around where I want it. And then there's my cookie. Okay. And I'm going to bake it. And then you still have the options to decorate. So that's a really cool way. If you have a picture that your child wants to use, that might be really interesting for them to try to make a cookie out of a picture that they have. Just one more feature I want to show you. Once we do have our cookies, they do stay here in the cookie jar, okay? And then I can actually move them around. So this would be a really neat way if you want to work on practicing some sounds. We could work on what sound is this? What sound is this? We could actually put letters together to make words. So you could make cookies out of different common sounds and then, go ahead and make words and practice some words with your child. So this is obviously a pre-writing skill app. So this is going to be working on a lot of those tapping, dragging, moving, drawing lines, making shapes, things like that. But you also can incorporate some academics into here. Okay, well, now what word is this? If I change one letter, what word is this? You can practice some of those pieces. So this can just be a really fun element, or it can be, something you can make it a little more educational. We can also have plate features, so you can put all the cookies onto a plate if you want to. So here's my plate of cookies. I can have a tablecloth. So let's say I want to use that as my tablecloth. So I can actually create kind of almost a picnic feature. So lots of different cool things that you can do with this. In terms of, I can zoom in on some of the cookies, so that makes the cookie bigger. So basically whatever cookie I want to zoom in on, I can just pick that. All right. If I don't like one of my cookies, let's say I'm like, oh, that's a silly cookie. I'm going to get back out of the feature here. I don't like this cookie. So I can actually take that cookie. Let's go back to the cookie jar, I can actually take this and I can put it in the trash. Okay. And then that cookie's all gone. All right. Lots of fun things you can do within this. Again, working on some of those skills like, motor skills, tap, hold, tap, drag, swipe, circle. And then also you can incorporate some of those academic skills in. But in the end, it's also just a really fun way to just enjoy decorating and making some fun different cookies. So have fun with this app and enjoy all the different features that you can play with in this.